Hey friends, so we're wrapping up the week with what I feel like would best prepare you to get ready for geometry. And whenever I was talking to your geometry teacher, I was asking what's something that they need to be able to do in their sleep? What's something that they need to for sure know how to do whenever they leave Algebra 1? And she said the main thing that we can accomplish is knowing how to solve equations no matter what the circumstance. So that's what we're going to be working on for the next couple days. I wanted to show you a few examples of some things we might run into, okay? So in this first example, we've just got the variable on one side, but we do have some combining of like terms that we need to do before we can isolate that variable. Remember that that's the goal of solving an equation, is to get that variable on one side by itself, everything else to the other side. So right here, I see that I've got some like terms that I need to combine. I'm not doing anything with that 4n yet, and a -2 plus 7 gives me a plus 5 equals -19. In order to get the n by itself, I use opposite operations. So I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. Those disappear and I'm left with 4n equals, same signs, I'm going to add and keep sign. So that gets me to -24. Divide both sides by 4 and we're left with n equals -6. And that's my answer. Bumping up our complexity just a little bit, and for our next one, we're going to have variables on both sides. So remember what we just said, our goal is to get all the variables to one side, all the numbers to the other. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to simplify each side. I've got a variable and a number, and nothing I can simplify there. Over on this side, I've got a number, a number, a number. So I can go ahead and simplify this right side. I'm going to leave my left side alone, plus 8 equals, I'm not doing anything with that x yet, but 7 plus 1 is 8, plus 15 is a 23. Now I'm ready to start moving things across the equal sign. Whenever you move something to the other side, you have to use opposite operations. So I'm going to subtract this x over here. Notice how I'm lining them up with their like terms. So 6x minus x gives me 5x plus 8 equals 23. Get our numbers to the other side. So subtract 8 from both sides. And we're left with 5x equals 15. Last step, to separate these two, opposite operations, divide both sides by 5. And I'm left with x equals 3. There's going to be another situation where you're going to have variables on both sides. So let's take a look at what that might look like. In an example like that, you could have -6 times m minus 3 minus m equals, I'm going to have to erase my line here, 18 minus 7m. So we've got variables on both sides here. We also have the distributive property. Whenever you see a number right on the outside of your parentheses, that lets me know that we're doing the distributive property. So we take whatever's on the outside times everything that's here on the inside. So we're going to have -6m plus 18 minus m equals 18 minus 7m. I see some like terms that I need to combine over here on this left side. This -6m and -m gives me -7m plus 18 equals 18 minus 7m. Now I'm ready to get my variables on one side, numbers on the other. So I'm going to add 7m to both sides. And we see something interesting happen. -7m plus 7m cancel out. So we're left with 18 equals 18. Think back with me to our system of equations whenever we got something that was a true statement. So 18 equals 18. Yes, that's true. So that means that all numbers are a solution to this equation. Now then, if we would have gotten a false statement, if we would have gotten like -18 equals 18 or 0 equals 18, those aren't true statements, so that would be no solution. So be real careful whenever you come across one of those. Last one that we're going to work together. So this will be an example of one of the most complex ones that you'll see. And that's where we've got the distributive property, we've got variables on both sides. So we're going to call this a worst case scenario. So what if we have -3 times 8r plus 5 plus 7r equals -3 times 6r plus 7. Take it one side at a time, one step at a time. So we're going to start with our distributive property. And we're going to take whatever's on the outside times everything on the inside. So we get -24r minus 15 plus 7r equals. We have the distributive property again. Take whatever's on the outside times everything on the inside. That gives us -18r minus 21. Now I look for like terms. Is there anything I can simplify on either side? Over here, I've got -24r plus 7r. Different signs, subtract and take the sign of the larger number. So we're going to get -17r minus 15 equals -18r minus 21. Right here, we're going to try to get our letters on one side, numbers on the other. So let's add 18r to both sides. This gives us a positive 1r, so we can just write r by itself. Minus 15 equals a -21. Add 15 to both sides, and we're left with r equals -6. So today we're really fine-tuning a skill that we learned a long time ago. You've been solving equations for a long time now, but this is the one thing that geometry said will be the most beneficial for you. So if you have any questions on this, if there's something that you don't understand, feel free to shoot me a text, give me a call, and we'll get you fixed up. Good luck.